bunch of midgets in there. Okay, the first time I ever met Mindy, she was living on the West Coast and going to school there. In fact, she gave all the guys on the West Coast the West Nile disease. And I remember when she was about 7 years old, when she was about 7, her dad took her aside and just left her there. Okay, and moving on. And her parents probably, they don't know about her drinking problem, and I hope I'm not bringing up any problems here, but she's been on the floor more than Johnson's wax. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm old, and I don't have to say anything to get off. I can just walk away, and I don't really care. I love you, darling.
Got another email. Mindy, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it tonight. A little friend of mine told me that you dressed up like Elroy for Mardi Gras and won for best costume. I hope to see you shortly, and the legal work will soon be done here in California. Remember, it's easy as ABC. Love, Michael Jackson.
She's a survivor going through a lot of health problems, and we know that she can manage to come back around. I happen to be a guest with her at a survivor party. I happen to be the one that was to equal out the gimp factor at this survivor party, with Mindy being a gimp, and I had just broken my neck, and it had only been about a week since I'd stopped walking with a cane. So I was the other gimp to equal out this. She was on one team, I was on another. And we were in a race together, carrying an egg or something, and trying to run. I don't know what it was. And somebody in the background, who shall remain nameless, said, "Knock her down." So Mindy proceeds to knock me down. I should have carried my walker that day to that party. But anyway, Mindy, you're a survivor. Happy 50th. We love you.
I don't have a real story. I just want to know, after being Mindy's roommate for 1 whole year, I know why she's been married for 5 times.
You're giving me too much credit.
I'm telling you, that was only one sentence, but you want to know more. Keeps you on. Anyone else?
Like many of you, I came here several years ago, 5 or 6, spent a weekend here and decided I didn't want to leave. Talked to the authority on the island, Mr. Dick. Said, who do I see about getting a house or finding a place to live? He said, I'll go see Mindy. She's the best one on the island. Went to see her, talked to her, went back to Mr. Dick. So what the hell are you doing sending me to see a 20-year-old girl about a mortgage? He said, hell, she's 30. She's had 4 or 5 husbands. And 5 years later, I realized that she's went from 25 to 50 and got better looking, and the rest of us old men just sit around and get older. Happy birthday, Mindy.
But I'm sure pretty much everybody here knows Miss Mindy, and everybody, glad y'all are here to share her wonderful special day with her. But before I even met Mindy, I loved her because of what I read in the paper, and I swear she reminds, if y'all have ever seen the comic strip Kathy, Mindy is Kathy. And when I read her articles, it would put me in such a good mood, from the pants and the sizes, to the labeling, to the shoes, to the bathing suits. I looked in the paper, I'm like, the heck with the rest of it, where's Mindy's article? Because I got to laugh today, just the same way with Kathy. So when I had the opportunity to meet Mindy, I was just beside myself. I said, oh, this, she's so cute and innocent, and I mean, she looks so cute and innocent and sweet, and then she opened her mouth. Oh my God, the things that came out have never surprised. I mean, she could have taught sailors. Now, but there are a few of Mindy's wonderful, sweet stories that stick out in my head, and because she's such a sweet girl, I think I'll share a couple with you.
Come in.
One is when Mindy told me that she had gone into a bar one night and decided she was going to have a one-night stand. Now I know it's hard to believe that sweet, innocent Mindy was going to have a one-night stand. But she got us all excited because she said, I was at this bar and there was this bartender, Gabby, he was so cute, and I just knew that I had never had a one-night stand and I was gonna do it. I don't remember how old Mindy said she was, but he said he was a little hottie, and she said, I went home early and I got dressed and I had on this blue negligee and I was ready. I was sure that I was gonna have this one-night stand. And so all of a sudden, at about 2 o'clock, 2:30, when the bar closed, this guy comes knocking on her door. Well, knowing Mindy, of course, now she freaks out. And she tiptoes to the door, and the guy's knocking, you know, he's thinking he's gonna get him some, so he's excited, and you know, Mindy had already invited him. So there's Mindy in her blue sexy negligee, but she described it full length, silk. And she said, Gabby, I couldn't do it. And I just turned my back and slid on down the back of the door. And she said, then to my surprise, I heard this, Mindy, it's me, open the door. And that the guy said, I know you're in there. I know that's not like you, and I just want to know if I can come in and have a cup of coffee. Now, I would love to tell y'all that she drove it like she stole it, but she didn't. The poor guy probably didn't even get the coffee. He went home. That's our friend Mindy. You know, and I know that she looks delicate and sweet and cute, but you ought to ask her about the burping contest in the lifeguard stand. From what I understand, she's a champion and can beat all records. So we may have to get her to come up here and show us how that's done. But I certainly did. I did not want today to go by without wishing Mindy a very happy birthday and roasting her a little bit. And telling, you know, Mindy, since you didn't get laid that night, there are a couple of lays on the table. You might want to get a couple to make up for it. But happy birthday, and thank y'all for coming.
You got to think about your stories, and I didn't really. And I didn't know who would speak and what they would say, and you didn't nail me nearly as bad as you could have. And I want to thank you for that, because some of you could have.
We're not through.
You're through. Several of you will die later. I didn't know who would speak, what they would say. I knew about a few, but I wrote some notes because I'm not real quick on my feet. And I should tell you that there were 3 or 4 people that cooked this up. That would be Mary, Haley, Mona, Irfan. Thank you very much. And it's been fun. It has, and I'm overwhelmed by how many people are here, and the pictures blew me away because I haven't seen a lot of those. But I made a few notes, and I really believe that God puts people in our way for a reason, usually to learn things or to learn what not to do sometimes. And I wrote a few notes about primarily those that had something to do with this party. So I said, God puts people in front of us for a reason. Mary's here to make me feel smart. And I love it when she's in my crowd because I just don't feel as dense as usual. Mona's here, I know, so that I would know what it was like to have a sister and to know the pain of waxing and plucking. She continues to teach me life lessons that I really have no desire to learn. Patrick's here to make me laugh and exercise my wit. Barry and Teresa to remind me people can stay happily married even when they're mashugana. Nina, who isn't here, she's here to make me feel tall. She's only 4'9". Jim Bob, he's to let me know I do have at least one guardian angel. Sammy's to remind me why I don't sing for a living. Andre's here to provide me with chocolate and know that at least for him, hope springs eternal. Irfan, I couldn't think of a bad thing, a smart aleck thing. The only thing I can say is you're darn good to look at. So, these were my final thoughts. You can't outwit Patrick. You can't out-smile Haley. You can't outsmart Mona. You can't out-dumb Mary. And you can't outdo Michael. If I had any words of advice on my 50th birthday, I'd say, try to take life as it comes and pray that it keeps on coming. Thank you all so much.